Follow at ButWoodja and you'll be alright.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Appreciate y'all checking in with me. If you did decide to go ahead and click that link, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It's been a little bit, but we're back in the studio, man. We're trying to make the best of things. The market has not been looking too great, so let me throw on some background music here for us just to vibe out to. Hopefully that's not too loud. I think it should be good. Boom. All right. So we should be good and set up. So let's go ahead and hop into some of these charts. So in the description below, you can find a link to the Discord. So we got some people in the Discord. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go live. If anyone has any charts they want to look at, let me know. So I got a list here. I'm gonna just kind of go through them, give some of my thoughts, see if we can find any possible entries or just what we might be thinking about for the overall market, right? So, all right, so this is Bitcoin on the weekly. And what I did for most of these charts is I kind of just ignored any information from like previous to November. So anything that is to like the left of here, I didn't quite ignore. Oops. Like I still took it into account, right? But I'm focusing more on this current like downtrend since we tried to pop above 50K back in end of March, early April. So that's where like I'm pulling most of the data. Obviously we always look back for the historical data to see what we've done, but to focus on, you know, where we're going kind of in the more shorter term, it's what I've been looking at. So, all right, now you have that disclaimer, you kind of know what's up. So I threw on a Fibonacci down here and I ran the Fib all the way down to the 200-week moving average. So the 200-week moving average, you can see it right here at $21,961. So about 22,000 overall, right? Now we've tested that quite a few times previously. So I guess we will actually go back. We'll look at a few other times. So back in 2020, boom, we bounced off the 200-week moving average. Back in late 2018, early 2019, we got a bit bounce off the 200-week moving average. Even back in 2017, you can see we held it, bounced above it, and I believe in far back as 2015. Let me try to pull it up and get back there. Yeah, even as far back as like 2015, right? Since like we had enough data to start running the 20-week moving average, you can see we were even bouncing off it then. So we normally do get good bounces off the 200-week moving average. I think I might have said 20, but I meant 200. So I ran our Fib down in anticipation of testing this 200-week moving average, right? So here's the bottom of our Fib trend, ran it down, test the bottom here. And then that kind of gives us like a little bit of a range between some of our Fibonacci levels. So the 0.23 up to the 0.5. And this is kind of what most people are calling or thinking that the range that we're going to be in for a while. I don't know if 28 is the actual low. You know, we could go down and test that 22K. I kind of think we will, but I don't have a time frame of when that would happen, right? So I'm not sure when that would happen. So let me throw on this little rectangle here and kind of give a little bit of a better picture. So this yellow rectangular box, we're going to go down to a daily chart now. And the yellow box goes up to this line right here. So the top of it is 35. The bottom of it is about 28,000. And the general consensus is that we kind of range in this space for a little bit, right? So we're kind of bouncing up. Maybe we do get a move up here, come back here, try to get a move a little bit higher, come back down. So not sure if that's actually going to play out that way. Just kind of giving you an idea how to play it. I am swing trading some. I don't know if the stream's still going. It looked like it cut, but I'm swing trading some altcoins, right? So when we do get around that 28K level, I'm looking at some popular altcoins, trying to grab a few, and then as Bitcoin moves back up to the top of the range around 34K, you know, kind of take those as just a swing trade. So it's something I'm looking at to try to make money during the bear market. Obviously, if you're not a trader, then I'm not suggesting it, but it's never financial advice, right? It's never financial advice. All right, so in anticipation of that, that's kind of where I'm seeing, or what I'm seeing as over the next few weeks as we mull things over, maybe until we have the next Fed meeting, maybe until there's another bigger capitulation event that drives us back down or drives us lower to that 22K. So something I'm watching for and to be aware of, right? So until we break above or kind of get a closing basis above this 35, about 35,000 level, call it 34, 35, then I would most likely be trying to short or sell out of positions around that 35K level. If we do get above it and hold it for a few weeks, and then we could possibly push up and try to get to that 40 level. But that is the golden ratio. So it is going to be hard to break it to the upside. So just be aware of that as well. So we're going to have some resistance coming around 35K as well as 40K for now. Obviously we're all the way at 29, 30K. We have some work to do before we get there. Look to see if we can continue to hold above 28K. If we do get a move below 28K, then like on a closing basis. So let me zoom in just a bit here. You can see these candles did go below 28K, this one in specific, but it didn't close there, right? So during the day it went down there, but it came back up, so it didn't close there. So be aware of that. Above 28K right now, I'm still looking to buy a few alts and sell when we get around 34K. Below 28K, I see us, going down to 22K at some point. And that's kind of how I'm operating, taking it day by day and just keeping an eye out for that and playing alts accordingly. All right, so that's Bitcoin on the daily and the weekly. And I'm going to go through this little list here, but another important one that I got asked about was SPY. I normally don't check in with stocks too much, but any opportunity to make money, I should be, looking into that. So we're going to start looking into a few stocks here. Not too often, but every now and then. All right, so turn that on, turn this one off. All right, so this is the SPY. It had a pullback recently. It's been on a downtrend since the end of December, and you can see it tested that golden level right at 388, and we got a little move up. This could be a good buying opportunity if the Fed starts to lighten with their monetary policy and they become dovish, right? If they start saying, okay, we're going to pull back on the quantitative tightening, even though they haven't started yet, which is a whole nother story, but something to watch out for. So right now, because these candles are above that 388 level, it's not so bad. It's, I would consider this a pretty good time to get into some things if you're bullish, but what could lead to not the best scenario is we start closing below that 388. If we close below that 388, I think it's highly likely that we go to 347 and we test a 200-week moving average for SPY as well, right? So same thing for Bitcoin, for SPY as well. And then if we kind of look back on the history, I'm going to switch this to the weekly. Boom. You can see we got bounce here off the 200-week, bounce here off the 200-week. And I added up the time spent when we do go under the 200-week because we do have so much more data with the SPY, right? So if we take, and I'm going to have to do rough estimates here. Okay, so about 665, actually no, because it didn't go above it. So let's do that again, from here over to here, right? So I'm taking this range from right here, August 2008 through October 2010. We were underneath that 200-week moving average that whole time for a total of about 791 days, so about 800 days, right? So when we did go below it, from 08 to 2010, it was about 800 days. And then again, we were below it from 01 until 04. And let's see how many days that was. So we got 01 here to about 04. That's about 1,000 days. So we're about 1,800 days, right? And then we've been above it since 96 for the most part. So the two times we did go above it, that was about 1,800 days combined. Divide that by 2, so average around 900 days. So I say that to say that if we do close below this 348 level, we may spend about 900 days below that, right? So that would be an accumulation time. In my opinion, that's when you want to, go hard. And if we did that, that would about 900 days out. Oh, I had to go a little bit further, my bad. So if we go about 900 days out, that would put us into middle of 2024, right? So this could be an accumulation time. If the Fed does continue with their quantitative tightening, they are going to stop, pretty much buying up stocks and adding liquidity to the market, and things do dry up. Maybe from 2022 through 2024, middle of 2024 could be a great time to accumulate if this data you know, plays out the way it has previously. So something to be aware of there. I thought that was pretty interesting for SPY. All right, and I'm gonna keep going down this list now. Some of these tokens and stocks I don't know, so I'm just purely going off of TA with not knowing anything about them whatsoever. Okay, so this we have BMY Bristol Myers Squibb Company, and it looks like it's been doing very, very well. It's been holding up for a while. And as I was looking through it earlier, I did see on, is this the weekly or the monthly? So it has never had more than 8 green candles in a row, right? The one time that it did have 8 green candles in a row, it went up 20%, moving from the 200-week moving average. It had 1 red, and then it had another, what was it, like another 5 in a row, for a total move of 51%. But so I'm saying this to say, I'm going back and looking at this BMY really quick, because it is on a pretty good tear, right? We're on a monthly chart right now. Again, because stocks have so much more data, we're on a monthly chart. And if you look over the past, what is that, 7 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's currently on its 6th month of closing green to the upside. You know, this is not the time to buy, in my opinion. It's breaching its all-time high right here around $77 would pretty much put it at its all-time high. After having 6 straight months of positive movement, also going into its all-time high, up 43% over those past 6 months, 5.5, 6 months. I don't think right now would be the best time to buy. If anything, I would maybe go short or wait to get an entry closer around $56. So and that was for, let me find the Discord member that was for, so that way you know what's up. Success is my high, so that's for you. Success is my high. So I would personally wait to pull back, maybe take profits. I don't know your personal situation, or I don't know if it's a trade or a long-term hold, but it did get a nice bounce off the 200-week moving average. It's been up for the past 5.5 months, 40%. I don't know how many more green months we're gonna have in a row, especially with all the turmoil that's going on in the markets, right? So do be aware of that. All right, and now we got KHC also. Similar situation here. I would be waiting for the pullback. If you can catch it around $36, that would be pretty good buy, right? You still have to think about the macro market. Like we said, we just talked about the SPY, and if the SPY closes under the 348 mark, how turbulent that would cause the market to be. But in that same essence, if that causes the stock market to pull back, maybe that $36 to 36 maybe your first buy-in, and then 28 as your second buy-in. So, and that's for crafts. Nice. Heinz. All right, now we're gonna jump into some of these crypto altcoins, and I'm telling you, man, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So forewarning. First one is Cadena, and this, look at this chart. It's absolutely hideous. If you caught the good run up, great, but if you bought, you know, let's take a quick measurement here. Over a 3-week period, it went up about 600%. So if you bought it, you know, during that 3-week period after it went up 600%, it's going to be hard to sustain, right? Because when something moves up that quick, it usually comes down pretty quick as well. So do be aware of that. It's trending down. It's been trending down for a while. If Bitcoin has put in a macro low around 28K, then I would look to start buying around $2.31. So if Bitcoin gets to that range low of 28, 20, flirting with 27, and this takes a wick down to anywhere from, what's that, 230 to 130, I would wait for 131 just because it's so high risk of an altcoin. And then if Bitcoin does capitulate and it does start closing under the 200-week moving average, you can expect all the alts to not have great days either. And so with those, I would start looking for, these were the buy signals, right? So on this first move, if Bitcoin wicks or comes down to around that 22K, just keep these numbers in mind. So we got $1.31, 81 cents, and then 30 cents. And that's for Cadena. And so Harmony One, I really like Harmony One, but you know, same type of situation, right? All coins are just getting absolutely hammered right now. I'm going back really quick to show this one more time, this little box here. right? So this box for Bitcoin, and let me take off this daily. So if we're going to stay inside of this box for Bitcoin, alts are going to be, you know, bleeding out around 28K. And then there should get a little pump if we get bullishness up to 35K. So that's how I want you to think about these altcoins as well. If you plan on purchasing them, super, super risky, but that's where the most reward is made, right? So for Harmony One, if you can get it at 3 cents, it would be great. Even right now, all these aren't bad buys. A positive move back for Harmony One would put you right now at about a gain of 90%. So I wouldn't say easily, but if the market becomes a little bit bullish, aka Bitcoin starts pushing up towards 35K, you could possibly see Harmony One at the least, right, doing a quick move back up to around 8 or 9 cents, which would be about a 2x from here. There is resistance at 6 cents, but not much. It should be able to get through that pretty easily if the market is turning around, right? And you're gonna hear me say that a bunch of different times because that's what it calls for. All right, so Phantom, I had to just put LOL at the top. I lost a bag in Phantom. I was a big believer in Phantom, and yeah, down on that one. But you win some, you lose some. Phantom, same type of situation. 23 cents is where, or a little bit above 23 cents, 29 to 30 cents is where I'll try to maybe grab some. Easy. Nothing is easy in the market, but if market turns back bullish, get an easy move to about 57 cents. Could see a 2x there. On a super, super positive movement, we could see a move all the way up to about 80 cents. So closer to like a 3x, but that all comes with market sentiment. Right now, the market sentiment is pretty damn bearish. So HBAR had a bunch of incentive programs that they were launching to bring some devs onto their network. I'm not sure how it's panned out, but if it does kind of kick back up, then could be a good play. I would be waiting to get into, I mean, 10 cents isn't too terrible right now, but if Bitcoin hits a quick wick down, right, if it goes down $1,000 from 28 to 27K in a matter of, 30 minutes or something like that, then you could have some buy orders set to catch it around 8.5 cents. And same type of idea, catch it moving back to the upside. Let me see on the weekly. And then the more dramatic moves, all right, if Bitcoin does capitulate, it closes under that 28K, starts moving towards that 22K, then I'll be looking at around 3 cents. So just be aware of that. Radix, this is there were some red flags here. Look at this chart. This is absolutely crazy. So in 2 weeks, it went up 500%, right? So that's kind of a red flag. You knew it was going to retrace there. There's not really much you can do with this one. It has to try to get back above 16 cents to start really forming some type of bullish momentum, or at the very least 11 cents. I personally wouldn't touch this. This is a little too high risk for me, but it needs to get back above 11 cents before it really can do anything. That's going to be acting as like heavy resistance for the time being. So that blue line is important. So I'll check that one out. Check that blue line. I don't know if it's going to actually get back there. That seems pretty tough. You got to check the narrative, see what's going on the chain, see the dev activity, and then that'll help give you a little bit of a better idea. All right, we got Mana. And Mana, man, went up to 600% in 2 weeks. And so when I say red flag, it's not a red flag that it's a bad project or protocol, just that going up that quickly in that short amount of time. And this is more like 4 weeks. I was lying, 1, 2, 3, 4. So closer to like 4, maybe almost 5 weeks. So let me change that. I don't want y'all to think I'm lying to y'all out here. But even still, 100, it's going up 100% every week. It's like, you might have missed that one, right? So you definitely want to wait to try to catch this on the move back down. It did come down and test. Look where that wick came down to. That was just last week. If we pull up the day, what day was that? That was just on the 12th. So just 4 days ago, it did come down and touch that 200-week moving average. You definitely want to see it hold that, but that's also a buy sign. Like we said, like we went back on Bitcoin's chart and looked back even on like the monthly, every time it gets these big bounces off the 200 week. So right, that 200 weeks acts as hard support. So same type of idea here. Definitely want to, if you can catch another wick down to that 60 cents mark, that would be a good time to buy mana. I mean, even still, if you like the project, I don't think it's a bad time to buy right now. But if you're looking for a legit deal, 70 cents to 60 cents is kind of where I would be looking for. Keep going through. We got Matic. Now, Matic was a layer 2. It has like everything you want. It has a good team behind it. They've been developing for a long time. It had slow and steady growth for a while, but then it just took like really just went crazy. And so we try to pull up this a little bit. So you can see it was just kind of moving up slow and steady on, this is a monthly chart. So we're on a monthly, let me go to a weekly. It's kind of moving up casually, and then just kind of went crazy. And this doesn't even go back far enough to really show, but where I'll be looking at now, again, everything is based off Bitcoin. So please keep that in mind. But Bitcoin does a wick down for about an hour, down to 27, 26K, and then comes back up just like it did previously. Maybe try to catch it here around 38 cents. And I think that would be excellent because I think layer 2s are going to have like a narrative that run from. So ZK Sync, Optimism, Arbitrum, Matic, they're going to have a run, in my opinion. It just becomes a narrative. And once that narrative swings back in favor, it could easily go back up to around like $1.27. And that, you know, that's on the low end. But it also, like I've been saying, depends on the market, right? Depends on what Bitcoin's doing. All right, keep moving forward. Oh wait. So, and then on a big capitulation down, where Bitcoin does go down to that 200 week moving average at 22K, then I'll be looking around 3 cents. 3 cents for Matic, which, you know, that's where it was about a year ago. All right, moving through it. Dot has some narratives coming out. Oh, Gavin got some things up his sleeve apparently. So I mean, I'm bullish on Dot, but it's just one of those situations, kind of like Cardano. Like, when is something gonna happen? When are you gonna give me something I can use? Or maybe there are things I can use, but something that becomes mainstream, right, to help adopt people to that network and help drive that network usage. So even if like you can use things on networks, it's not really. It's like, okay, you can use it, but no one is using it, right? So you need that actually drive that adoption as well. What's up, AJ? Shout out. Houston, shout out. Render and Arweave, yeah, I'll pull those up. No problem. Let me add them really quick. So pull up Render, pull up Arweave. I don't know what has the most history. All right. Okay, so back to Dot. So Dot, I'm kind of like, I DCA Dot in the past. Dot and Link, Ada were like the ones I would always DCA. I followed Ben Cohen a lot. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Check out Ben Cohen's YouTube. And so I liked it a lot, but at this point, I'm still just like slowly loading my bags with it. If it comes back around that $7 mark, or even better around like $4, then I'll want to like actually grab some. But in the time being, it's kind of like a small allocation towards not really throwing much at it. Moving on to AVAX. AVAX, I thought it would perform better. It has a lot of adoption to their network. Their C chain is gaining a lot of attention because people are coming over and basically creating subnets off of their C chain, so that way they can still run like on that EVM on AVAX. But it hasn't reflected in the price, and I'm assuming that's because market sentiment, right? Market sentiment being the way it is, it doesn't really reflect so well in the price. But I do like AVAX a lot. They just lost their swimmer subnet for Krabata. You guys always hear me talk about Krabata every video, so shut the room. So yeah, just wanted to mention that one. For AVAX, I'm still like, this is pretty much replaced what I used to put into Dot. Now it goes into AVAX. I'm bullish on AVAX. What can I say? So if we get a move, I like the price where it's at. But if I want a deal, right? If I'm trying to catch a deal, and we get that Bitcoin capitulation down to the 200 week, you could easily see around $10 AVAX, and that would be like around where I want to buy at. Don't have enough data to show 200 week moving average on it yet. But let's see if we can we'll pull up a 50 instead, or even 100. enough for the 100? No. I'm also on Binance. I don't know if this is a. So I'm assuming the 100 would be around there. Yeah, like I was saying, a deal more closer to around $10. And you got a little bit of support here back from January 2021, July 2021. But be aware, again, risk or alti. This one I just had to hit him with the emojis. I didn't even know what to say. It's just like, bruh, you looking at this? Velas? I don't know. Like, you know, there's not really much you can do, or there's no previous support to like to go off of, right? There's nothing over here to like go off of, so I don't really know. I don't have much for this one. Super farm, same thing. I couldn't really find a longer term chart for it, but I did put it on the daily and then put it through like a regression trend. And through our regression trend, we should get a bounce kind of where we're at, around 15 cents. If we can get a bounce around 15 cents, it should get a move closer to 44. Slight resistance around 33 cents, but I can see us pushing through that on some bullish sentiment. Also, they have their Play Imposters game coming out, which will also help drive the ecosystem. Super's been around for a bit, but it just seems like they can't catch any fire. They had their marketplace that they've been developing, so they're working on things. I'm bullish still on Super Farm, just not reflecting in the market. So it's kind of like, what can you do, right? Low side, more deal side, 7 cents. And that's again assuming we get that big capitulation from Bitcoin. Veracity, another gaming token. I'm bullish. I'm actually super bullish on this project. I think it'll do very well in the long term of things. But obviously, you know, when you see these types of run-ups, right, from, what is this, March of 2021, went up 8,000%, you know, so 80 times 80 times your money. So, you know, 1,000 got you 80,000. So a lot of selling pressure. If anything, I would just look up for when the token unlocks are for the team and try to make sure that I'm not buying in right around the time where a lot of tokens are becoming unlocked. Just because that's going to give so much sell pressure onto it. But I do think it's a good, like, longer term play. Let's see. It's on the weekly. Technically, we zoom in. Oh no. Oh yeah. So on the weekly, this is actually still lower than where this previous weekly closed. So by like very, 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 very small margin. But with that being said, if we do get a bounce here, like we're assuming, right? The reason why we are assuming we're getting a bounce, just for the people that are kind of catching up because of our box, right? Remember our box back on Bitcoin. If we can stay in this box from 28 to around 34K, then 34K is right here, 35K. Then we're on the bottom side of our box. If we can get a bounce out above it, then we can see some alts move as well. Obviously, the alts won't move as quick, but the alts, you know, will still move a positive sentiment from Bitcoin. So something to be aware of. We break down under the box and test this 200-week moving average is where we're going to see a lot of these lower prices that we're mentioning here. More of the deals. The real deals. All right. So yeah, Veracity, I like it. I'm not too familiar with this one, but if you look in this regression trend, you can see we did get a bounce right here. So the buy for that is, you know, it's actually kind of flashing like a buy now, but even if you can catch it, if you want to wait, and you can catch it around 52 cents to now. And you could possibly see a 2x. I'm not super familiar with what this token is or what it does, so I don't know about the sentiment specifically around it. But as far as the chart shows, we're fighting downtrends, just so we know. Also, another disclaimer, just so everyone knows, we're fighting downtrends right now in the market, right? You never want to go against the trend, so it would be easier to short. So when you get these bounces up into these ranges and to then short them would be easier. But people don't want to hear that, right? Everyone wants to know when to buy. So just be aware of that we are still fighting downtrends, and that, you know, going with the trend is usually more so your friend, not waiting for it to turn around. All right. Hathor, also I'm not super familiar with this one. Same type of idea though, with this regression trend. Kind of touched the bottom, bottomed out. This one's already showed a little bit of bullish momentum picking up. Now, if this is just like a quick pullback, then I would see this one testing towards like 39 cents. But I'm not familiar with like the protocol and what exactly it does. If I was looking to buy relatively soon, I would try to catch it around 17 cents, 16 cents, and then ride that back up to around 30 cents, and then ultimately 40 cents. We tested that area previously a few times, and we kept getting rejected on it, but you know, we did test it on the daily 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. So if we can get a move up to that side, it had really good movement on the 15th, so yesterday. Also, the daily, the daily is closing in about 10 minutes for Bitcoin. Looks like it's going to close under what it did yesterday. Yesterday it closed at $30,087. Right now it's at $29,847 over the next 10 minutes, unless we get a push up. Not sure if it'll happen. Not terrible, not the end of the world or anything, just giving a heads up. All right, keep moving through. Oh wait, what was it? So render. Sold dot for VeChain. Yeah, I feel that. I really like VeChain. Hey, that background, little vibes for the people, you know what I mean? Hopefully I don't get flagged from YouTube. I don't really know how that works. Render, I wish you had more data. Let me see, what's this one? November 21, that's on Binance. Let's see if there's another one. Cracking. What's cracking? Nah, even less. All right. We be in the city with it. Bow. I wonder if I can pull this up on conent. Gecko. I'm just trying to see a little bit more data. A little louder. 5 cents, 23 cents. 23 cents, huh? It's hard because I can't see, like, I wish I could pull up like so 2021 at 6 March, $2 pullback to $1.05. It's barely under this $1.05 pullback. It's actually, it's not holding up well. Obviously it's down from $8, but like if it holds this spot like where it's at right now, it's not bad. You can see it spent from September 21st through November 1st. Actually a little bit more time there. Oh, that's 43. We're getting a little bit of a curve here. Maybe, I mean, it's okay, but it's also like the same type of idea with Bitcoin, right? I would personally probably try to wait till Bitcoin pulled back to around 22K before I got into this. Now, maybe that doesn't come. Maybe that never comes, and then you're kind of screwed. Or not screwed, but you know, you missed your entry for a render. So you could take, maybe if you have a whatever size portfolio, take a portion of it and get in now, because it is at a good price. But if you can get it around 60 cents or at the best 23 cents, then that's where, like, I think you can really make some gains. And it's a good metaverse play. So Arweave file storage. Wow, look at today's candle. What is that percentage? Down 20% on the day. Look at that. But also it had just moved up 35%. So all right, let's go to a weekly. We can pull up a weekly. Can't really. Daily. And we tried to break that trend, couldn't. Arweave is such a stud. It's hard to say because there's not enough data with these charts, but let's just do this one. Oh, wow, I made it to the top 100? Didn't even realize. Oh, here we go. $9. $9 is the Arweave buy-in. The limit order to set a limit order for Arweave around $9 and chill. And if it catches that, then that's excellent. It could get a small bounce right now, which actually it already did, right? Came down to 10, got a small bounce up. Yeah, Arweave at $9 I think is a great buy. And if it really capitulates down further than that, we're looking around like 3 to 6. But I would try to see, I would look up to see also how many people are actually using Arweave. 247 million transactions, 163,000 addresses. So there's 163,000 Arweave addresses, and let's compare that to what the? That's a large number. So it just needs to grow some adoption, right? I don't really know. I'm on the fly right now, so I don't know what this website is or anything about it, but just needs to gain a little bit more adoption. Data usage, do we have any 30-day metrics? It's a pretty cool website. Yeah, $9 is where I'd be looking at for Arweave. All right. And let me see here. Can I share this playlist? How do I do that? Boom. Wow, shared it in the chat. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I was really trying to go through real quick, show you guys what was up with a few different tokens, a few different coins. I think I went through all of them that were mentioned or asked about, so that's cool. What else? I guess final takeaways would just be Bitcoin. Watch this box, see if we're gonna break out of this box to the downside or to the upside. If we can break to the upside, that would be great because we could probably test that 38K range, but the upside remains with resistance right around 34K. So anytime we're getting close to the top of this box, if you're trying to swing trade alts, you know, you're buying alts while the price is closer to the bottom of the box right here, so around 28K. You're gonna sell into your alts around when we move back to the top around 34K. If you're not a trader, then, you know, maybe don't do it. Just be smart. Try not to FOMO into things, whether that's NFTs or whatever the case. You don't want to end up doing something like this. What chart was it where we were just like absolutely blown away? This one? No. One of these charts went up like 700% in a day or something. So keep that in mind. All right, my peoples, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.